At the beginning of this course, I tried to sound really scary about the topic of backup. But I didn't do this just to sound tough and menacing. Backup really is a critical part of your photo workflow. Drives fail, files get accidentally deleted. The power going out while you're saving can leave you with an unreadable file. Backup is necessary if you want to ensure that you will always have access to your images. Lightroom's import dialog box provides the option to automatically store a second copy of every image that you import. This makes your import step take longer, but it's a way to automate the process of backing up your original files. I'm usually in a hurry to get images imported so that I can start working on them, so I don't actually use that feature. The main image drive that I work off of at home is a RAID, an array of disks that have been configured so that they act as a single drive. One advantage that certain types of RAIDs have is redundancy. A RAID, by the way, is the name of a type of hard drive. RAID is not a brand name or something like that. There are lots of different companies that make RAIDs. The data in a RAID can be written to multiple drives within that array of drives, so if one of the drives fails, there's a second copy in the array. That doesn't count as a backup. While it makes it more likely that I can recover files if that array crashes, the array can still experience a failure that renders everything on it inaccessible. The other big advantage of a RAID is it offers tremendous speed. So I've got redundancy and speed built in, but that's still not a backup. For backup, I have a separate array that I copy my main image folder onto. I use backup software that only copies the files that have changed since the last backup, so backup is a fairly speedy process, and that makes me more inclined to do it more often. I then have a third array, or a second backup array, that I keep at a friend's house, and about once a month I go and I get it from her and I run my backup software to update it, then I take it back over and I stick it in her closet. So I have 2 copies of my images at home, both of them on RAID, so both of those are redundant internally, and then I have a third copy off-site. However, there's an additional backup step that I need to take. What I've described so far is the process of backing up all the image files that I have. But remember, in Lightroom, my actual edits are kept in the Lightroom database. Yes, my images folder has some images that I've rendered out of Lightroom as TIFFs and Photoshop documents, so those have my edits built into them. But most of my edits, as well as all of my ratings and keywords and other metadata, all that stuff is stored in Lightroom's database. You can tell Lightroom to automatically back up its catalog or database every time you quit. Catalog preferences in Lightroom let you specify when you want the backup to occur, whether it's every time you quit or once a day or once a week. As with my images, I keep several copies of my Lightroom database, including one off-site. There are many different ways you can concoct a backup scheme. One that's popular now is cloud backup. Amazon, Carbonite, Apple, Backblaze, and lots of other services provide software that will automatically upload your images to the cloud, giving you off-site backup and the ability to recover your images from anywhere. How useful these are depends on how much data you tend to produce and how fast the upload speed is from your house. I shoot RAW files, not JPEGs, which means I tend to generate gigabytes of data on every shoot. And though I have a fast upload, getting that much data regularly moved to the cloud is just too slow. And besides, I want my bandwidth for other things. I'm also not crazy about the pricing of current services, and I want to be able to quickly recover my images when I have a problem, not wait for a slow download. So I have this scheme that I've concocted. If you're a JPEG or a light shooter, then cloud backup might be a great option for you. Otherwise, you're going to want to find some mix of backup drives and backup software. It doesn't have to be just like the one that I've done, but just be sure you come up with something that gets you regularly backing up.